Welcome to week 2 of Intro to Business. This week we're talking about the economy. When you look at the course website, there are a number of videos from the Khan Academy which will help supplement and give an alternative explanation to the information you have in your book. A couple of the key concepts you want to get from this week's material. One is the concept of scarcity, that we don't have unlimited resources. Because of that, we have to make trade-offs. And that's true in things such as the time you're taking to be in this course is a trade-off. You could be doing something else. The money you spend to be in school. The money you spend on purchases you make versus purchasing something else. How you've chosen to spend your life, what career directions you've gone in, what you find yourself trying to do now. All of these trade-offs we encapsulate in the term opportunity cost, which is really thinking of it in terms of what's the cost of the next best alternative, or what I passed up in order to do the thing that I'm doing. So scarcity and opportunity cost are two of the really important foundations to how we think about things economically. When we look at it on a micro or an individual and firm level, we look at the laws of supply and demand, and how changes in price or quantity offered for products will fluctuate based on the laws of supply, demand, and when those two are in balance, we have what we call equilibrium. And so there is a Khan Academy of video that you can view, as well as information on the text for each of those topics. The discussion we're having this week involves really the micro level and looking at the ideas around what's called the sharing economy and jobs that are created because demand exists or a supply exists, and things such as Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, and another number of other companies that are in the so-called sharing economy. And so that will be our topic we're going to discuss in this week's dialogue. And really, we want you to think about this not just in terms of personal opinion, although you're certainly encouraged to state your personal opinion, but we want to do so in economic terms and start being able to frame our thoughts as to how economically you argue for or against what Uber does to the economy, and what is Uber good for workers, is Uber good for customers, or any of the other types of sharing economy companies you're welcome to pick as well in your discussion. The second part of this week, we're looking at macro issues, and the main issue we're going to talk about is the different forms that competition takes. And we're going to look at industries and the competition within those industries. Peter Thiel, who was the co-founder of PayPal, wrote a rather interesting and thought-provoking article called "Competition is for Losers," and kind of argues that pure competition is bad for people that are trying to make money and bad for the economy potentially. And what we want are monopolistic or near-monopolistic operations. And so the assignment related to that reading, you're asked to find an article from the Wall Street Journal, and a recent article, something in the last couple weeks would be fine, not something from 2 years ago, and really analyze that in terms of, do you believe what Peter Thiel is saying? And do you feel the company you picked exhibits these monopolistic or monopolistic competition type situations he describes? What are the chief competitors of this company? And we want you to be thinking in terms of competitive models and how you see those play out in the world around us. Those will be the main economic topics that we cover this week. We're going to roll over the discussion on government's role in the economy into week 3. I want to avoid giving you too much information all at once, so you have a little bit of time to digest it. So that material we're going to push off for 1 week, although it's still in Chapter 2, and then we will cover that in week 3. So I look forward to reading your assignments, your dialogues, and seeing you on next Monday's discussion.